Welcome back, artists. In my preceding video, I showed how I did the line drawing for this sea turtle that's coming up to this island. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Now I'm going to come through and turn this into a line and wash piece. Customarily in watercolor, we'll typically start from lights and then move to darks. However, once in a while, you can start the other way around. It really doesn't matter. You can do what you like. I find it easier at times to start with the main object, and that's what I think I'll do here. So let's start with our turtle. They have this sort of armor plating look to them, and being that they're a green sea turtle, I'm going to start mostly with my lightest green. Now I will, to help emphasize the fact that this is a three-dimensional object, the turtle, be sure to be mindful of my light source, which for me being left-handed will be up here. I think I'm going to do a setting sun up here, which means I'll need to have correspondingly my shadow side down here on the rest of the turtle. And we'll have some fun with it by putting him half in the water and most of his body under the water here, and his just his head sticking out a little bit of the top part of his shell as well. Now I'm going to come through with the Viridian, which has a lot of blue in it. The preceding color was sap green. I'm going to strengthen even darker more here, add some Prussian blue. And they have a very dark black eye. So let's get that put in here. Leave a little bit for the highlight of the eye, which is often called the lamplight of the eye, so it looks like he's a live animal. They have sort of a beak on them for a snout. I'm going to add a little bit of brown to them as well here. All right, now while that dries, I'm going to do a little bit of work elsewhere around the painting, and then we'll come in and do our water. So let's grab our sandbank up here for our little island where our turtle is going to. Stick some more green up here for our palm trees. Just stab it in here briefly. Same thing for the ferns and that down below. Darken the underside of the palm trees here. Okay, so we've got our island pretty well done there. Now let's work on the water. Looks like our turtle is pretty well dried. Good way to check those. Test with the temperature on the back of your hand. If it feels cool, then it's still wet and still drying. That feels warm to the touch, so it's all dried. Actually, I think I'll start with the sky, because as I'm thinking about it more, if I put my sun up here, then that'll help me identify where to put my highlights down below in the water. So let's have fun with color. I haven't used pink in a while. Let's use pink. For tropical sunset. I'll put a little bit of cerulean blue on the outside edge. Touch of cobalt as well. Okay, so there I have my blaring, blazing, setting sun over the turtle's head above the island. Let's do our water now. I'm going to hit these, swish them in there quickly, the ripples around the turtle. Well, the highlights would be on the ripples of the water. Now the trick here is, this is really just glazing, going over the top of the work we've already done on the turtle. Trying to minimize the effect of lifting off the underlying color. It does occur a little bit, but if we're light and quick, it'll be minimum. I do want to show a value change from the immediate foreground at the bottom up to the horizon line here. Make the foreground darker than the horizon line, which helps add to the three-dimensional effect of the piece. Now I'll step down the darkness some with some Prussian blue. I've got to sort of play with it here a little bit and just sort of cover it, but try not to overwork it too much. This is phthalo blue, and this is a very staining, but it's also transparent. I think this will help it look more like he's emerging out of water. Okay, there we go. There's our sea turtle with his head sticking out of the water, coming up to the island. Our setting sun. Looks like he's got the water down here below. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.